This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast, and I am Nixalina. Hi! Welcome back to me, Nixalina, on a Monday evening. I'm dedicating this episode to Ben Affleck and J-Lo. What? More specifically, I hear you say, is getting back with your ex a good idea? So, this has been in the news and all over fucking socials and YouTube videos of people gossiping and whatnot about Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, who rekindled their relationship, and it now seemingly is all over. Before I briefly detail their relationship timeline, the reason I'm talking about this is because it raises a relevant point about getting back with your ex. The pair initially met in 2002. By November 2002, they got engaged. September 2003, they postponed the wedding. So that's almost a year later. And by January 2004, they break up, just 2 years after meeting. They remain friends, right, since then, which is important information that we'll come back to later, but they both went off and married different people and had children and rah. And then they rekindled their romance in April 2021. A long-ass time later, and they went IG official in July 2021. By April 2022, so not so long, less than a year later, they're engaged for the second time. And by July 2022, they're married. So obviously the first time the wedding never happened. The engagement did, but the wedding got postponed and then they split up. This time, wedding did happen in July 2022. All right. So, great. Everything looks great. Rekindled. Life is great. Obviously meant to be. Lovebirds, blah. By May this year, 2024, couple weren't photographed together for almost 2 months. This is all bollocks, hearsay, that stuff. I hate when paps and people and press they've been seen out together. Stop spying on people, for fuck's sake. But it's relevant to the story, so I kept it in. And then by end of June, last week, 2024, it seems that Ben Affleck has moved his belongings out of the house. So, for me, it's raised a very good topic of which I don't think I've covered in 8 seasons, and that is whether it's a good idea to ever get back with your ex. Obviously, with these two, many years were passed in when they were with different people, married different people, children, and they stayed friends. It's important to say they stayed friends because obviously it wasn't, when they broke up originally, some big-ass betrayal, This is also speculation, but no one cheated on each other, no one was abusive or violent or whatever. Hence why the friendship remained. And J-Lo has been said to say that it was the biggest regret kind of breaking up with Ben back then, blah, blah, blah. And now they're separating again. So let me look at my own dating history and tackle this one on getting back with the ex. Big fat fucking no. The end. I'm kidding. Most of my exes have resurfaced. It could be 8 months later, could be 2 years later. One of them 12 years later. 12 years. And whilst we still chat and we're close, would I get back with him? No. And here's why. For me, and like I said, we're friends. I mean, it was a very turbulent ending. I find lots of my breakups are quite turbulent. Maybe it's because they're so passionate. It's always a very intense connection. I do vibe intense connections. But when that all dies down and the years go by and whatever, and I'm like, yeah, we can be friends, but I don't want anything with you. And half the time, my exes, when they come back, they do want something again. And I'm like, the ship has sailed. For me, when I love someone, I love so deeply, I will ignore their flaws. I will turn a blind eye to very obvious red flags. And it's something that I'm fucking working on because I need healthy. And I will just love with everything. Give. And half of them will like, take. And at the time, it won't matter to me because they love me and I love them and we get to curl up together at night and plan our future and blah, blah, blah. But when I then get out of said relationships, even if it was a nice breakup or it was a bad one or they cheated or they were nasty to me or I left them because I wasn't in love with them anymore, whatever the breakup was, my feelings are done. When I heal from that particular breakup, when I get my head around it, I'm done. I can't look at that person in the same way again. Like, if you said to me, go and have sex with this person from your past, I'd be like, ew, no, shit sex. It was shit at the time, and I bet it's even shitter now. But also, I don't love them anymore, so I can't let them touch me. I get the ick. Friends, 100%. And like, once you heal, maybe it is just me and my I'm just so healed at the moment and happy and in such a great place. But like, I could go now, like the guy from 12 years ago, I could go and party with him, have the best night. I could go to my ex-fiance, both of them, in fact, and be like, do you want to have a beer? Like, how the fuck are you? I want to know they're happy. I want to know they're with new people. They're loved, they're loving, or whatever they're now doing. I don't harbour and hold on to anything from people that have really hurt me in the past. At the time, I want to fucking kill them. At the time, well, devastated. But once you move past that, once you realise people's... I'm digressing, but we're always learning here. This is important information. Do you realise people's shit is nothing to do with you? If someone treats you badly, have you heard of that saying, hurt people, hurt people? I'll do a whole other episode on this if you want. But it's on them. If someone can't value you, doesn't love you the way you love them, if someone uses you financially, someone belittles you, physically hurts you, prods at you, makes comments about your life, so everything's negative, someone doesn't spend time with you, won't fuck you, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is that you're on the receiving end of, just know it's not you. It's always a reflection of them. And they're probably very sad and very miserable and very hurt. But let's move back to the main point. When you heal from that and you're like, okay, it's on you, like you actually just wish your ex-partners all the best. Because you're like, you're in my life at one point. We obviously had a connection at one point. I cared about you deeply at one point. I hope you're well. But to get back with them? Honey, the hounds of hell couldn't fucking drag me back to any of them. And you could be like, yeah, but Ben Affleck and J-Lo were like, they didn't have a bad breakup the first time. Oh, they broke up with the wedding the first time because of all the media public and all that image and all that. It all got too much. Okay, yeah, sure. But like I said, I still talk to an ex of mine from 12 years ago. Like, we will have 3 a.m. phone calls, right? Yeah, he's London, so he's fucking hilarious. So, yeah, I can get him from a night out and call him up, and we just chat. We're still friends. That doesn't mean I would ever go back there. And I firmly believe that when you separate with someone, it's for a reason and needs to remain that way. And I think this is where Affleck and J-Lo's recent breakup, not confirmed, It's all speculation at the moment, people, not confirmed. It's not confirmed. But I think their breakup, again, having got married a second time, is testament to that. If people are still who they used to be when you tried the first time round and it didn't work out the first time round, why would it work out again the second time round? Unless there's some huge changes, I don't see it happening. And I think if you could change in the way you were, wouldn't you have done it when you first was in that relationship? If it's like, okay, Nix, I don't know, what could be my burden? Nix, you talk too much. I fucking do. I talk way too much. That's why I have a podcast. It's not for you guys, it's for me. It's a safe space. It's my cathartic release. It's where I can talk loads. No one cares. But say my boyfriend was like, you talk too much. Okay, if I want to be with him, I'd make a conscious effort to talk a little less. Or I'd be like, fuck you, I love how much I talk, get out my house. It was a bad example. Do you get where I'm going with this? Like if I said to my partner, I don't know, you go out too much, fucking stay, you're just out too much, not what I signed up for. If he really wanted the relationship, he'd be like, okay, fair, I respect what you want. There's two of us now, we're a team, we're in this together. What can I do to like make us both happy? Like what if I go out this amount of times and I go, yeah, that's fair, that's cool, and done. But if you can't address those things when you're together and it takes like, a decade or 2 decades apart to come back together, I feel like, wouldn't it have worked the first time round? What are you going back to your ex for? I know there'll be so many people that will give me these incredible stories of how it broke up because of outside circumstances and years later they found each other and it was the best thing they ever did. And I want to hear those stories. But for me at this point, all Ben Affleck and J-Lo do is prove my gut instinct right, which is it is not a good idea to get back with your ex. People break up and leave your life for a reason. And I think once you've healed from that breakup as well, it can skew your opinions on said person because you're like, oh, it was actually better than I thought. And you look back fondly. There's something called euphoric recall and the phantom ex. These are two terminologies in the relationship dating world. And they both basically make you idolize an ex that's kind of not the real person as who they are. And that will make you want to go back because you've flitted away all the bad points and the reasons why you broke up, and then you're focusing on the good points. And then you get back together and lo and behold, those bad points, they're all still there and they will rear their ugly head at some point. So yes, that's my personal take on it. I would never get back with an ex. Ever, 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 ever. I will have a pint of beer with them instead. I wish them all well. I really do. I hope they're all happy. I really do. Even like the nasty ones. I'm like, I hope you find the healing and self-love you clearly need. But I would never, ever, ever, ever open my door to them again. And I feel like that would be the healthiest mindset to have when it comes to getting back with exes. But like I said, please do prove me wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong. Get in touch with your stories. Did you get back with an ex? Did it end badly? Did it go the same way as Ben Affleck and J-Lo? Or is it a success story where you found true love and realised you were in fact forever soulmates that just drifted apart for one moment in time and now you get to spend eternity together? On that note, thank you all for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks for listening to the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast. Produced and hosted by me, Nixalina, and recorded in the Splice Cast Studios in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more content and features to read, you can check out my website, Nixalina.com. That's Nixalina.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search at Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.